Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Spiritual Center for Conscious Living and our monthly live stream. We have Renee and Spencer. I'm Spencer, and you all know Renee if you've been following us, um, bringing you our message for the month. So, this month, our focus is on, I had a topic up, but now I lost it, living from your blended heart and mind. So, we are, before we get into that though, just a few announcements. We are, as I mentioned a couple times, we have transitioned to more of a monthly format. So this is our message for the month of February. We will have another one coming to you on March 12th is the next date. So mark your calendars. The topic for that one is to be decided. If you would like to stay in touch with us on that, you can check our website at scfcl.org, or you can follow us on Facebook. That's where we do a lot of announcements and postings. So you will stay in touch with us there as well. So those are two great ways if you're interested in following along. We are also inviting you to participate with us in a variety of ways. So you can participate as the video description suggests. You can join us in conversation during this video live stream in the comment section. We really welcome and love seeing your comments and your feedback. You can let me know. I'm running the technical side. If you can't hear one of us or having some technical issues, I can do my best to troubleshoot it from my end. But we really value even just a good morning. Any of that participation. We invite you to participate in our conscious living community. That is our goal, is to cultivate a space for people with a conscious living mindset where they can communicate and feel welcome and whole. So please take advantage of that. That's our main drive. If you would like to support us further, we also welcome and invite you to make financial contributions as you are able. There are a couple links that we have for you to do so. You can do so on PayPal that you'll see in the video description, and we now have the ability to accept donations via Zelle. If you are familiar with that, it's direct from your bank to our bank, and it's 100% secure, and you use our email address. So that email address to contact us on Zelle is in the description, and we appreciate those donations as well. It helps us keep bringing this content to you and furthering the spread of conscious living information. So thank you all who do donate, and if it's something that you're thinking of doing, we appreciate all of that effort. And the last announcement that I have is we are gathering feedback on a new offering that we would like to bring, but we need your input. We're looking at bringing a group that we are calling Conscious Connections to you all. It is going to be a live private Zoom meeting. So when I say live, it will not be broadcast anywhere. It'll be totally secure and totally confidential. You can join and chat with Renee and myself and anybody else from the community, and just really, again, another way for you to get together and meet people who have a like mind and just be one with them. So we invite you to give us feedback on that. You can do so in the comments here if that's something you're interested in. You can let us know. You can message us on Facebook if that's something that you want to let us know. You can email us. I mean, any of the myriad ways we have for you to contact us. We ask that you reach out to us and let us know. We would love to hear from you and your feedback on that. And if it's something you're interested in, we're looking to get that started in the next several weeks or maybe month or so. So please let us know. We've heard from a few of you, and we just love to hear more. I think that's everything I've had to say for your lead in, Renee. And I'll let you take it from there.
All right. Thank you, Spencer. That was great. Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is our February live stream. And so we're going to focus on the heart, which is very commonly a theme in February. We're going to take a little different approach, however. we're going to focus on balancing heart and mind. So before we get started, let's begin by getting into our heart and opening our heart energy space. We're not talking about the physical heart, although that's a beautiful thing to always bless and send energy to. We're talking about the heart energy space. So just everybody, please take a deep breath with me. Just take a deep breath. Oh, exhale with sound. Always helps to get the energy flowing through the vagus nerve and activating all the organs of the body. It's a great way to ground yourself as well. Now, I'd like you to focus in your heart space and let that energy come up a little bit into ascended heart, throat, third eye, crown. Just let that energy be your space. Hold the energy. We want to hold it. We're not pushing it out to anyone. We're not trying to get energy from anyone. Just take a deep breath. We are getting energy directly from source. Let that fill you in your heart space and then completely fulfill your entire body. I'm a little bit hoarse today. Sorry about that. Okay, how does that feel? And I invite you, before we get into the topics, to distinguish between feeling without thought and thinking about what you feel, thinking to create a feeling versus just pure feeling. We're going to practice that in the energy immersion that we do about midway. So we'll be doing that in a little while. So we'll practice it. So just notice, are you feeling? Are you just like, is your mind still in your feeling? Your heart is open to source? Not to me necessarily. Source will come through me for you, but open to source. Are you feeling? Or is your heart, are you kind of guarded? It's not bad or wrong. Don't be, don't judge yourself. Are you more kind of in a state of your heart might be a little bit closed and you're more in your mind or you maybe even your brain, not just, spiritually, our mind is our connection point to infinite intelligence. We sometimes confuse that with the brain. It's more like the third eye, really, the pituitary pineal gland functioning in the brain that's opening to the field, the quantum field that is source, God, life force, the power that creates worlds, pure divine love. I'm hoping that you're beginning to get in your heart more as I'm saying all that. And I'm holding an energy to help you. It's not my words. My voice carries energy that helps. But what my intention is actually to get you more into your heart. Okay, so let's go ahead now and let me go over the topics, and then I'm going to put out some reflective inquiries for you to be opening to, and then we'll have the meditative energy immersion to really get you into the heart space, balanced with your mind, and then we'll open to questions, and Spencer will come back and facilitate that for us. So the topic, as Spencer said, living from your blended heart and mind. Mind being not your human brain. It's beautiful, beautiful thing, our human brain. But the mind is how we allow both heart and brain, heart energy and mind energy space to be in one accord, is how many teachers say that, but to be in alignment, to be focused and flowing in harmony and balance, letting our divine self lead our human self. And we're going to talk about three aspects of that. Opening your heart to guide your choices, allowing your mind to support your heart, trusting the blended heart and mind for balance. So the first question I have for you: when you have an intention to open your heart, whether it's you consciously set like in in an experience like this, and you consciously have a clear intention to open your heart field, your energy field that we call the heart, what challenges you about that? Do you just open? And I realize it may not be 100% of the time, but predominantly, do you just open? It's easy, it's even natural. Or do you open a little bit and then you can't go further? Or do you open a little bit and then pull back, and then a little bit and pull back? My kitty wants to be up here with me, so bear with me if I'm dealing with him, please. So, and I just ask you to feel into that without any judgment, with just awareness, because from awareness is a point of power to create new, not to focus on something that's, quote, wrong or not the way you want it to be, and then try to change the old you've already created, but to create new. So awareness, just awareness. Do you naturally, let's say on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being wide open, do you naturally, most of the time, predominantly have a high 8, 9, 10, 7, 8, 9? Your heart's open. It's easy, it's natural. It's how you be in the world. It's the beingness of you, which is another way of saying your consciousness, the consciousness you carry. Okay, we're going to talk about that. Second question. What challenges you to still your mind? The chatter of the human brain and the personality and the ego. What challenges you to still that? Which is a big part of how you can be in your heart more. What challenges do you have about stilling that? Come here, baby. Do you have a fear that if you're in your heart and you still your mind, that you're disconnecting from intelligence and wisdom? I'm asking questions before, and I'm going to talk about it too, but I'm just wanting you to be in your heart and just open and feel into these different scenarios on a scale of 1 to 10. Is it easy for you to still your mind? Most of the time, not perfectly all the time, most of the time. Or is it very challenging? Do you still your mind, but not really get into your heart? Or do you still your mind and then you just go right into your heart? Or do you flip-flop back and forth quite a bit? And you don't really get the balance. You don't really get the harmony of the two in this beautiful divine synchronicity. Okay, one more question. Do you have concerns about that balance? Do you have concerns that in that balance, you won't be aware enough to be safe in the world? Or in that balance, you might be a little too fluffy heart and not enough intelligence? Do you have a fear that in that balance, you'll be too in your head and kind of hard-hearted, as people say, rather than open and aligned with divine love and wisdom together? So just allow those feelings to come up, and then we'll talk about that more in the conversation section. So here's what I want to help you with today. I want to help you with what is the most common thing that I've seen and had people ask me to help them with over the years of teaching, whether it's in a format like this, with a group, or private sessions with people. And this is whether it involves very practical, applications in life, or more just deepening our spiritual awareness and the joy of being a spiritual being in a human body. The most common challenge I see is that people tend to do all heart and turn off their intelligence, which by that I mean connect not just your brain, but I mean opening to infinite intelligence. Or the pendulum swings the other way and they're like big open heart and they completely turn off. I mean, they're like all heart, no intelligence, or they're so afraid of getting hurt or of being taken advantage of in the world that they completely get like cut off their heart and they're like just logical brain linear, not even infinite intelligence, not wisdom. Wisdom would be a beautiful way to describe the blended space. Love and intelligence. Now, when I say intelligence, I mean way beyond human. Human intelligence is, of course, wonderful. But I'm talking about the kind of intelligence that created the entire cosmos, the intelligence. And that intelligence is grounded in love. Love, not fluffy, sentimental love. I know it's February. We tend to celebrate that this month. And that can be very rewarding and fun. And like those of you who've been with us a while or have been with me in any aspect of teaching, you know that I really strongly teach, instead of being loving, be the energy of love, divine love, capital L, love. Be the energy of love itself. And from that, kind actions and thoughtful awareness and pure, empowering, sacred, honorable intentions will naturally flow from you in your human experience and all of the human interactions you have. In fact, not just human, all life. Sacred honor will be natural. And sacred honor means much more than, quote, loving, because what's loving to one person may not feel loving to another. And what sometimes people define as loving can actually be codependent. It can be controlling. It can be subjugating, letting someone else maneuver and manipulate you or dominate you. So be the energy of love itself. So now feel into your heart space again. We're going to practice that in a few minutes, so you can really learn how to feel that in a way, in a space that's safe. So then as it becomes more natural for you, you'll realize that is the safest space you can ever be in, is the space of the open heart, open to pure source, allowing that to flow to you, through you, bringing you infinite intelligence, setting intentions from the heart, which is not weak and fluffy. The heart energy is the power of creation. It is what could be called the force of creation, if you want to use that word, meaning what causes a seed to burst open and become a plant, or in some cases, trees. What causes an embryo of any form of creature to become this amazing full-grown creature? What causes the metamorphosis from the caterpillar to the butterfly? That's creation force or power. That's the power of love, ever expanding as creation. And we're meant to co-create with that. We're meant to, in our own energy fields, be the creator of expanding love, expanding joy, expanding peace, expanding experiences of beauty and joy and upliftment and empowerment, and deepening awareness of our spiritual self, our beautiful sacred self-love and self-wisdom in motion, the divine flowing to us, through us, as us, always with us and around us, within and without. We're meant to live with that. So that's a very safe space to be in. Nothing weak about that. And so I'd like us now to practice this, and then we'll come back with more conversation about it. And so I know Spencer has music for us. So I invite everyone to just get really into your heart space. Take a deep breath, please. My kitty's going to be with us. Take a deep breath, please. Exhale with sound. Oh. Another very deep, gentle breath. Hold that for a moment, and then a very long, gentle exhale. And now I invite you to feel into your heart, the energy space of your heart. Not just the chakra that we think about, but the energy that's in your field that is pure divine love. The energy of pure divine love that is actually the energy of which you are created. Each of us, all living beings. We are birthed from pure love, formed and sculpted with infinite intelligence. Now, just stay in that heart space for a moment. We're going to bring the mind in, but first we need to really get settled. Very calmly, surely seated in the heart energy. Take another breath, please. Do you have fear of opening your heart? Remember, you're opening it to Source, not to me. Source that I'm flowing and holding to support you, yes, but it's not me. And Source comes directly to you. You don't need me. I do bring that energy and hold it for you to support you as you find it for yourself. But it's in you. It is you. You are expressing pure Source. That is your divine self. That is the connecting point that flows to you, through you. It's meant to lead you for beautiful human experiences. Wise. Wise and loving. Intelligent and loving. Sacred honor for self and all others. Now, without leaving the heart space, that beautiful, beautiful, warm, nurturing feeling that all is well, that you are loved and cared for, that all of life is a beautiful expression of the love of Divine Creator, expressing itself in such a beautiful myriad ways of beauty and joy and awe and wonder. And now in that state of wonder, feel into your third eye, your crown. Let that drop down through your throat, expression into the heart. Bring this beautiful, clear vision of wisdom always with you, guiding you, supporting the choice of your heart to express the love of the divine, to be the love of the divine purely. You are the love of the divine. We want to learn to express it purely more and more. And by that, I mean without the polarity of To express love, I have to disconnect from intelligence, or to have love, I have to sacrifice safety, security. I have to not take care of myself to love others. Let yourself feel that. Come on. And from that space now, I want you to just stay in that blendedness. Notice if you stay in it or if you go back and forth. If just now there was a distraction from my kitty, did that take you out of the heart and into intelligence, or did it do the opposite? Did it help you open your heart because you have a love of animals? Just notice. It's not right, wrong, good, bad. Just notice. And now, make a conscious choice. What do you choose as your intention? To be more balanced, heart and mind. Do you choose that? I want you to please stay in this energy another minute or two. Has it moved you? Has it opened you more? If not, just take another breath and stay in the heart more, allowing the mind to support you in this. Don't let it lead you, let it support you. Let your heart lead you. And when I say that, I mean the heart energy, not sentimentality. I mean the energy of love itself that is divine creator expressing, expanding life itself. That balance of wisdom, sacred honor for self and others, sacred love for self and others, sacred wisdom for self and others. I invite you to practice this daily and allow yourself time each day to be in this space until you feel moved. Your heart opens more, just a little bit or a lot, but at least a little bit. Each day, just let yourself be in that space until you feel moved, opened more to source, to love itself, the energy of love. And then trust, infinite intelligence will come through you, guiding you so wisely, so powerfully, so purely, peacefully, and powerfully. Take another breath, please. And as you're ready, bring your focus back to the conversation. I'm going to talk for a moment while everyone comes back before we begin the conversation. We're so glad you're here. That felt really good to you. Just stay with it a little bit longer. I'm going to go over the topic and the 3 points before I hand it back to Spencer to begin facilitating our conversation. So, the topic again, living from your blended heart and mind. And the 3 points that we covered and we want to engage with you in conversation, invite you to join us, opening your heart to guide your choices from your heart, opening your heart to guide your choices. Number 2, allowing your mind to support your heart. And number three, trusting a blended heart and mind for balance. Then you feel safe in the world. You don't worry that you're going to be sentimentally, taken advantage of, or weak, or too fluffy. You don't worry, get scared and then flip back into being kind of hard-hearted and just so linear logical that you're not letting the power of love, the energy of love, be the power that's propelling you forward as you create in your world, in your energy field. All right, Spencer, when you're ready, please take it away.
Yeah, thank you for that. I needed that time to come back because that was really really good, really powerful.
I'm glad,
I
yes.
was yeah, almost blasting off into a different area of existence. So it was very very good. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Um, yeah, before we jump into our conversation, we invite everybody who's feeling compelled to converse with us. We welcome it. We welcome your comments. I will be monitoring the chats on the respective platforms, Facebook and YouTube. If you are watching us on YouTube, we had have it set for subscribers only. So if you'd like to participate, you have to go to our homepage on YouTube and click the subscribe button for 5 minutes, just a way to keep spam out and keep the serious comments in. We also ask that you, as you are sharing, that you maybe reflect a little bit before you share and be aware of other parties involved and everybody's privacy and well-being, and do so in the way that honors everybody involved in your specific situation. I think those are kind of the ground rules. Don't worry, we are very welcoming and loving, and aren't going to chastise you if you don't follow any of those, but we'll help guide you in them as well.
Yes, absolutely. Well said. Okay, so do you want to start, or do we have anyone that's made a comment that we want to address?
I don't see any specific comments yet that we would like to address. I guess I would say what was coming through for me on all of those topics, that are all three of those points that you addressed. I feel like I've been good about opening my heart for my choices, and I have several big ones that are almost always going, and also allowing my mind to support that. What I was kind of feeling was that I do have that good balance, or I should say, I have a good balance between the two internally, where I run into more discomfort is when I try to express that, and particularly to people who maybe aren't um practicing, living consciously. And when I say this is what I choose, that not being accepted, or it has to be brought up for debate, and it's just kind of like, you didn't hear me. This is what I choose, and this is what I have resolved as a person. And then I kind of fall into having to explain and say things numerous times, and I feel like I'm really led by my heart, and then my mind is just like going through verbal diarrhea, just to like, how can I say this in a way that you'll just leave it, that you will accept it and say, that's great, I'm glad that you've come to that decision, or I support you in that, sort of a thing.
That's great. I would I would like to say that I believe that is a huge issue for most people.
Yeah.
And it's not just, I just want to be clear, it's not just a person who practices conscious living, who has awareness and the intention of conscious living, with people who don't have that awareness yet, or have not made that an intention in their life. It's not just that. It happens very much within spiritual communities as well. So how just for those of you who might be a little new to I go right to the energy dynamic, and then we bring it into the real world application, because the energy dynamic is the actual core real world situation that's happening. And when you understand that and address it at the core level, it's like there's a tangle and it just goes whoosh, untangle. So, and then we can discuss practical ways of how that plays out and how to keep progressing with it. Okay. So the energy dynamic going on there is it goes back to the energy of boundaries. Boundary being an energy that I'm going to use you, Spencer, as an example, since you volunteered. So, but it's true for all of us. An energy, a boundary is an energy we hold,
Comments
or we
yet
don't.
that
We either hold it or we don't. To the degree we hold, I'm not saying it's like flipping a switch. It's on a spectrum, of course. So if we're like on a scale of 1 to 10, if we're at a 10, holding an energy of, this is what I choose. I've made my choice. This is my choice. Now feel that. There's not room for, but you could convince me otherwise. I'm not saying that person won't try. We're not, so we're going to address that. But first, we have to start with us, our energy, our conscious intention. I've made my choice. Period. Not in your face, period. Not I've made my choice, within yourself. You're in your heart. I've made my choice. I've made my choice. Done. It's a peacefulness within you, and it's powerful. It's a stillness. It's not an absence of power. It's not an absence of energy. It's a deep, grounded, calm, powerful choice. I've made my choice. Done. You don't even have to say it out loud necessarily. It's that you have to hold that as your boundary. Then it doesn't mean the other person won't go, that's weird. Blah, 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 blah. Wait a minute. I think you're making a mistake, whether it's totally out of love or, somebody trying to just, get you to do what they want that you don't have any desire to do. There's a range of ways this can happen. It's not necessarily that somebody's trying to, in their mind, they're meaning to be, that's their way of, they think that's how to be supportive. Or, there's situations where people are trying to just get their way and they honest, out in the world, the people, we have that. People don't care if it's wrong for you and it might be harmful for you. They want what they want, right? So whichever extreme, it's just a matter of, they're going to let them be who they are. You just be who you are. And second thing, then, now that comes but this, you're making a mistake, but this, but that, but this, but that, right? Don't engage. How do you do that? You'll have to choose in the moment. You'll get easier and easier. You can say, thank you. If, let's say it's a situation where somebody who really cares about you is they think you're making a big mistake. They want you to do it differently because they care about you, let's say. You can just say, you can listen if you want, if you want to consider, but don't listen as, oh gosh, I might be making a mistake. I might not be wise. If you have been in your heart and you've allowed infinite intelligence to guide you, to come through and support the choice of your heart, because you can have a choice of your heart that's a yes to something, and then infinite intelligence can show you 100 ways for that yes to manifest, right? So there's 100 ways. There's more than that, but let's say there's 100 ways. You just keep trusting that the infinite intelligence will tell you, now step 1, okay, now step 2, now step 3, another step, another step, another step. And if it midway to option one, you change to option two, that's okay. You might have had to get there to be able to perceive option two. So when we sometimes zig and zag, it's not necessarily that we did anything wrong. I don't think it is. Sometimes we can't see the other options until we're on the journey. Okay. So the person who's so afraid you'll make a mistake, it's, that's their perception that not going straight line point A to B isn't, it means you're making mistakes, right? It's not. It's learning, it's evolving, it's expanding, it's experiencing and adjusting as you go. So a lot of that is trusting yourself to be aligned and then holding the energy of that. And then you'll know what to say because you're in your heart. And you might say, I know you love me and thank you, but I don't want to get into this. I've already made my choice. Thank you. I have considered the option, then they say, but have you thought about this? I have. Thank you. Now I want to move on with my choice. And then you have to just stop addressing the question. When somebody, I've said this before too, some of you may have heard this. I decided a long time ago, I was in a relationship with someone who their way of getting their way was they would ask me over and over and over and over and over the very same question. And I would say, no, thank you. I don't, do you want to go eat Chinese food? And I would say, no, I don't. Thank you. Do you want to go eat Chinese? No, I don't. Do you want, it's like, do you not hear me? I finally realized that was their way of getting their way. They weren't yelling, they weren't demanding, but they were going to just pester until I would give in. And so I just made a rule. I would just say to this person without anger. I mean, at first I was angry because it was like, what? And then I realized, okay, I don't want to do that. So then I just said, after the third request, I would say, okay, now this is the third answer and the last time I'm going to answer the question. And then if they ask the question again, I just don't engage. Not out of anger, just out of, sanity and self-preservation. Okay, now, how does that help untangle any of it? And what else comes up?
Yeah, that helps a lot. I think part of my experience is that I do tend to engage because I want to, there's like that ego side that wants to be heard versus recognizing I'm not being heard the way that I'm experiencing and perceiving things. And more often than not, in those moments, we're on the same page, which is like the funniest thing. It's just semantics or like just like that is tripping one of the two or three or one of the parties up, and then it just keeps on getting rehashed back and forth. So I think that's and then it kind of escalates, and it's like I think just realizing, recognizing that I might be on the onset of one of these type of things and just kind of saying thank you for your opinion and I'll consider it, and just leaving it is like the best option. Um,
Yeah, can I jump in on something
mm-hmm.
there? I'm glad you said the word semantics, because when we get into it, kind of like it's almost a power struggle over semantics, right? What's happening is, first of all, the person needing the semantics to be exact, they're very much in their human brain. They're not in their mind. Infinite intelligence is not infinite intelligence. Okay. And they may be brilliant in their human brain, but they're not in their heart at all. It's very much a fear dynamic. I have to get this precise, or I'm not safe, or you, who I love and care about, is going to make a choice that's not safe. It's really a fear. And so I say that because then we can have compassion. We don't need to play it. Don't play in that. Don't get in it. But we can be compassionate. This person, they think that showing love is for trying to guard against fear of danger. And obviously, if somebody's about to step in front of an oncoming car, you do want to, very much guard against, help protect them from that. But this isn't, but as we're just making choices that are about creating what we want in life, we want, if somebody has wisdom, obviously it's good to hear it, but we always want to come back to our heart aligned with infinite intelligence to make the right choice for us in that moment. It may not be the right choice a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, but in that moment, the right choice, the ideal choice. So how do you suggest dealing with semantics now? What are you thinking about there?
Yeah, I think that I recognize that it's on both sides because I'm somebody who tries to speak with a extreme level of precision, and that's kind of my personality. Kind of I've always been that way, kind of um the way I was trained in my studies in the various amounts of science classes I took. They're like, don't mince your words, don't misspeak. And it's always just, it's funny to me because in the situations I'm thinking of, I get tripped up by other people's semantics because they are like leaving portions out that I think are important. So maybe I'm having some of that fear reaction, and then when they do that to me, it's just like, I'm pretty sure I was very, very clear about the way I said that. And, or you get on me for not reading between the lines of your words. And like the one time I don't spell it out as a complete roadmap, it's, well, you can't just do that. You got to do this. And you don't forget to add that. And, so, um,
That's I love that you said that. So to me, what we're doing here is it's like it's heart. It's flipping between
yeah.
heart, only mind, and then bringing them together instead.
Mm-hmm.
And I love words, that. I love words. Anybody who knows me, I love beautiful words and clear and clean and uplifting and empowering. And I love words. Here's the thing, though. I can say the word blue, and you will have an image, even a sensual experience of blue, and everyone listening it'll be a little nuanced different, most likely. I mean, there might be a few that are spot on, but there's a lot of pigmentation that can be blue, right? And so that's true for other words as well. So there's agreed meanings to words, and then there's meanings and associations we don't even know we have with words. Things can get triggered, right? Or just misinterpretations. And so it is interesting. The reading between the lines is the energy. So that's where I go, like when I say, rather than being loving, be love itself. So when you're speaking and you're wanting to convey a precise piece of wisdom, let's say, whether that wisdom is in your job or in a relationship. It's the wisdom of your heart, the wisdom of your skill set in something, right? Focus on that clarity, maybe third eye a little more than human brain. Don't turn off the human brain. Just direct it more with heart and third eye, because that conveys the energy frequency different from what a particular word might do. You could use the same word and do that, and it will convey a different meaning. It'll help it be more clear. Does that even make sense to
It
you?
Yeah, it does. And when you were talking, it kind of, yeah, it dawned on me that um, yeah, like maybe in that scenario, I can, embody that heart energy more, and then they can embody the heart energy more on their side of just like understanding and realizing, oh wait, he knows what he's doing. Like I trust and I understand from what he said. It might not, I might be a little uncertain, but I trust that it's going to be fine, and I don't need to clarify anything further that causes any unjust tension or unnecessary tension or uncomfortability for anybody. I can just allow that to happen as it should, or as it.
Yes, because ultimately, this person, we're talking about a scenario where you're dealing with somebody who they love you and they mean and they want the best for you. It's not that they're trying to control you for the fun of controlling you.
Mm-hmm.
They're wanting to make sure you make a wise choice.
Absolutely. Yep.
So ultimately, what they want to feel, even if they don't know to say it, they really just want to feel that you are assured in what you're
Mm-hmm.
doing. You've made your choice. So see how the energy will change that without the words. It's the energy you carry. And then the same words will feel different to them.
Right.
And having said that, I also want to say the goal is not to change, persuade, maneuver someone else's feelings. The goal is to purely convey your energy. That's not, we're not teaching how to do things just the right way with your energy to manipulate somebody.
Right. No.
That's not what we're about.
Yeah.
Okay. Just, we don't want any confusion on that. All right. Anything else you want to address on that? Or?
No, I think that, yeah, that feels good, and gives me a good clear heading into any future interactions like that.
There's one other thing that came up to me that is important is I really understand in our human interactions, our relationships that matter to us, especially close relationships, where we want to feel heard and we want to feel seen and we want to feel valued and appreciated and trusted and honored. We'll never, ever feel that to a greater degree than we have it for ourselves. So if that comes up a lot, my kitty's getting hung up. If that comes up a lot for anyone, and I've learned to do this myself, if I catch myself feeling that, then I know that I need to go back and feel that for me, about me, and hold that energy. And then either the other person, the dynamic meshes better, or it doesn't, and it doesn't matter to me. I'm okay with it. I'm at peace with it. It probably will mesh. When people we're close with, it generally won't just sync, right? It just comes in sync together.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't, it's not a point of tension anymore.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. I think I could see the wheels going there.
Yeah.
Anything
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
want to talk about?
No, I'm just feeling into it, and just kind of, reminding myself that I don't have to respond, because I think that's my biggest thing, and it's been that way. You could probably go back and watch a lot of these and be like, oh, it's always the need to respond, the need to respond. So,
It's fair because when
mhm,
we're in the world, in dynamics, in the world as opposed to in our spiritual practice alone, let's say, just so in your spiritual practice, it's just you and the divine, right? Well, the divine hears you, sees you, feels you, and that's part of what we did today. And is to move into the space where we do open our hearts, so we do feel heard, seen, loved, supported by the divine. When we carry that with us out into the world, is the way I like to say it, as we're interacting with others or going about activities, it's not wrong to want to have that beautiful connection. We do, of course. That's part of the human part of us. It's just that we want to have it, like, allow it. And then when it's not available, just trust that it's okay in that moment that it's not available with that particular person on that particular topic in that particular moment. Doesn't mean ever, but just in that moment. And carry it with you to, best of your ability. Okay. Any comments? Anybody? Are everything quiet today?
Yeah, everything's pretty quiet. So I think that's about it that we've got. That's all I have.
Okay. All right then. So I just want to bring to closure here. I want to remind everyone that we will have another live stream in March on the 12th, second Sunday, March 12th. In between, I send an email out every week, at least once a week. Also a Facebook post. And this month I've been using quotes by Rumi. So I want to bring that. The one today I've really focused on is, as you live deeper in the heart, the mirror gets clearer and cleaner. The mirror gets cleaner and clearer, or the other way around. As you live deeper in your heart, meaning aligned with divine love, in balance, heart and mind, the mirror, what you create, the reality that is the mirror of your energy, gets clearer, more aligned with what you chose, and cleaner, less polarity, less of the, I have this, but I got to give that up, or us versus them, duality scene. The mirror gets cleaner and clearer as you live in your heart. So that's why I chose this topic of trusting yourself to be in your heart and bring infinite intelligence through. Let that support the choice of your heart, the desire of your heart. So it creates more clearly and cleanly. I would say purely meaning without all the polarity and the duality. So we'd love to hear from you. If you are watching later on a replay, we do answer comments. I come back in when I get a notice and I'll come in and answer. If some of this was there's something a little private, you're welcome to send me an email, renee@spiritualcenterforconsciousliving.org. I'd love to hear from you that way too. That's one of the reasons we're looking at the private Zoom, so it can be a little more, it's not such a public format for some conversations that people want to have, questions you want to ask, or just to kind of hang out, kind of gather maybe once a month on an evening and bring your favorite beverage and just sit around and just talk about life and what's going on in the world and get some conscious support, conscious empowerment, conscious wisdom, sharing it with each other. Let's see what else we want to talk about. If you're not already on our email list, I invite you to sign up. It's on our website, scfcl.org or spiritualcenterforconsciousliving.org. If you're on our email list, you'll get notice of everything we're doing. It's also on our website. That's like our little hub. We have on the homepage, we have slides about the most important things going on. And then we have a schedule of events page where you can see a little more too. And we're going to be upgrading a few things on the website. We're excited about that. We are producing some new audios. Those of you who were on our email, you got our guiding star video and audio. We're going to be doing, I know people enjoy the energy immersions that I do, so I'm going to be recording some of those, and then Spencer adds his production skills, and it turns out it's really something beautiful and powerful. He brings in some music and some images. It's very cool. So we're going to be creating some of those, and you will need to be on our email list to receive those. So I invite you to go ahead and sign up on our email list if you haven't already. any questions you have, anything you want, do you want us to talk about a certain topic in the future? Let us know. We want to hear from you. We're here to serve you. Our vision is to teach conscious living in ways that can be applied, deeply, deeply powerfully with energy, metaphysics, and consciousness, and then brought into your everyday life more and more naturally and easily as just who you be in the world. That's what we're here for. And in doing that, we have our nonprofit that we're using is the format we're using for that. We do have operating expenses. So when you are able to participate, we have like what we call like a contributing member, an occasional donation, a sustaining member, someone who says, this is important, so I want to commit a certain amount every month. And then we have what we call an ambassador, someone who really wants to help us evolve and expand. So we're getting grant money too, but we're also, we need regular flow of income to help us as we evolve and create video courses for everyone. We want to continue to offer some things public, free like this, and then other things donation based. So let us hear from you. We want to serve you. The energy of your presence is absolutely the most priceless gift you can give us, and we thank you for that. We're here to be with you, support you, celebrate life with you, dance through life with you, and we want to know how we can do that better and better and more. So thank you for your presence, whether you're with us live or on the replay, and we'll be back on March 12th.